order this special meeting of the Stevensville School Board of Trustees. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. At this time, we'll conduct the roll of our trustees. Nathan. And Tony. Jennifer. Stephanie.
Yeah.
Fran.
Here.
Billy. I'm here. Ben and Dan.
Here.
With 6 members of 8 total present. That constitutes a quorum, and so we will continue with our business of this special meeting. And we'll start off first with our recognition of any visitors that we have here. Superintendent Conan, you have a quick rundown, or we'll get to those later, whatever you'd like.
I did not write down names.
I
ahead of
understand.
time. We'll introduce some people from 2 different banks that are in town,
Okay.
as well as regional manager for Harlow's, Francis Ham, is down here at the end too.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. All right, at this point in our meeting, we would open up the meeting for public comment. And so that's comment from any member or any person that is present today that has any item that is not student related or pending legal matter that is not on today's agenda that they would wish to speak about. Is there any board comment for today's special meeting? Thank you, everybody, for coming. Yeah, we'll look forward to your information in a bit. So, all right, we'll dive into our consent agenda, which consists of 4 employment items today, 3 hires, 1's a volunteer position, and 1 resignation. Is there any item on this consent agenda that any board member would wish to remove to be debated and acted upon by itself? All right. Seeing none, is there any public comment on these employment action items as well as this resignation?
turn the M to an N in Tina's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tina Safarin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, didn't say, did it? Yeah, spelling correction there. Tina Safarin. A-N, I think, too. It's not E-N.
No, I think it's
It
E-N.
is E-N.
It's E-N, yeah.
It's just S.
Savaren.
Okay. All right. So, all right. No public comment. All right. Is there any objection to approving the consent agenda as presented with the spelling change? Seeing none, consent agenda is approved. We'll move on to our action items, which consist of approval of claims. And we have 3 items that we're pulling from today's claims. And so those are items, claim 42577, 42641. Those are proposed claims to education logistics. And John and I can go over in a little more detail what the description on those are, but those are being pulled. Those are not, the district office is pulling those, so we would not be approving those, as well as claim 42642, which is to the Huddle subscription service that's getting pulled from today's agenda. So other than that, are there questions about the claims? John, anything you needed to add or say there, or we're good to move?
We're making sure, so some of these are subscriptions, and I want to make sure we are going to purchase the products that we need, and if there are pieces of those, we do a little more investigation on, and those 2 that we pulled, 2 companies that we pulled, come back with more information in our August full meeting.
All right. Any questions about the claims? So we are removing claims to have a new total of $81,055.55. And so those are claims, July claims 42598 to 42645, but again, removing 3 claims within that for a new total of $81,055.51.
I move to approve July's claims as presented with the deductions of the claims.
Thank you. Moved by Stephanie, second by Tony. Any further comment, public comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll move into our second action item, which is a sinking fund certificate of deposit and a reinvestment of that. And Linda and John, I think, have some more pertinent details because of the timeline and the amount of money that we're looking at.
Here is the estimated.
And Bill's here too, I think.
Bill's here,
He's on the side.
I'm gonna pass that down to the members. This is an estimated of where we are going to be at the end of next year. Yep.
So if folks remember how we've done this in the past, we have an amount of money here that it comes due when?
June 15th of 2026.
That's when the
The bond, yes, that's when
bond
this
due,
due,
the
yes.
CD
The CD,
expires
yes,
this week.
we have one
Next week?
expiring on August 6th.
Okay,
And then we
next
have
week.
10 days after that to make sure we have it in order. yes.
Okay. And we have 2 CDs. Those are the account numbers that we're looking at there. Okay. And those are the maturity dates,
Mhm.
which some are further out.
Yeah.
The one,
There's a date, I put the date wrong on one of them. On the Farmer State Bank one, the bottom one, it's expiring of 25, not 24.
okay.
Sorry, I forgot to put that in there.
Expires
Make that
later this
correction.
year,
Yeah.
December 25. Okay.
Yep.
So we don't have to make a decision on that
Yep.
today. It's just information, so we have it at our
Yep.
disposal. Okay.
Yep, and then we'll have another one coming due in September of this year. We're all a little bit shorter as we're building up to this payment that's due in June. But the one that is the most pertinent is the one that is August 6th one that is currently held with First Security.
So is that the only one we're voting on today, or are we renewing all of, or is that a decision that we need to make?
Well, I think we're being presented with the information so we know what's coming up in front of us because these are all short timelines, and maybe hear from the financial experts in the room on some advice one way or another with those. But yeah, we'll be voting on the short one, the one that's coming up right away. Bill, you've largely guided the district through a lot of this.
Yeah.
Can you weigh in?
So what we're trying to accomplish here is that right now there's the payments due June 15th, but these guys here are going to present you with a couple different options to go with the CD or go with the checking account. And they're going to talk all about that. So we have the 4.8 that we have to deal with.
Mhm.
But this maybe, this needs direction on, do we go with CDs or do we go with that different method of investing that money for the next 9 months? So then at the August board meeting, you guys will decide, which what you decide today, to approve the CDs or approve the checking account, or the other options are going to offer you today.
And that might be something we do with everything.
Correct.
To get ready for the June
Like
15th.
in September, you
Yep.
can say, from now on, we want to put this money in this checking account.
Sweep it to the switch.
Right.
And you also
We could
have
combine it.
250,000 right now sitting out there from our May payment from the county,
Mhm.
the taxpayers, that has to be invested too, along with the 4.8.
That's also part of the bond, the middle school
Yes.
bond payoff?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, John? Sure.
With that, we
Adding.
have asked 2 different banks from our town to be able to present to that. So I'll start with you guys first, I guess, from First Liberty.
For security.
Security, yes.
Thanks for letting us be here today. Yeah, we've got this CD that will be maturing here next week, and we just wanted to offer some options out there, just looking at the timeline. Given that it's about 10 months that you guys will be able to invest this. We can roll it into a CD product. sometimes, you know, and every bank's got different types of CD products as far as the length of time. But we thought, well, that's an option if you wanted to stick with a CD. One thing that we thought might be a really good option for the board would be to just roll it into a business checking account and have that at, you know, at a premier rate, and have funds that you need to roll in. Namely, there's a couple of CDs that return in January. If you wanted to roll them in there, that could make sure that those funds were liquid to the district and still earn any money without having to, you know, to do separate CDs and, you know, keep managing those. So CDs are an option that we can offer, but again, just in the thought of keeping them liquid and maybe more inclusive if you needed another place to park some funds, to have it into a premier business checking account.
Does that rate fluctuate daily based on?
No, it'll be fixed, and it's just simple interest, so your interest earnings will be calculated, just simple earnings based on the deposit. So that rate will be fixed until whatever date we decide on that part of it, so.
And what's that rate running?
Are we-
Your checking?
Are we getting into rates today or just options?
We should,
That
we
would
gotta
Okay.
have some kind of idea what you're thinking about the rates or the difference in the rates between the checking and CD.
Yeah, so we'd be willing to go 4% on the business checking account. And if we did a CD, we could go 4.25. You needed probably a 10-month product. We don't have a 10-month product, but what we could do is fix it for 12, do a 12-month CD, and then let that, would waive the penalties on that.
On taking it out of town?
Early withdrawal on it.
And then the checking would be guaranteed for the same period of time.
For that same period of time. I mean, we wouldn't want to fix that more than a year, but yeah, we could do that for a year.
And then John, and then we got friends and business partners here from Farmers. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sole. I'm the only one to show.
Okay. Okay.
3-1.
Whatever.
So yeah, very similar. And I think I emailed Glenda. What I had proposed was just a liquid account at $4.15. And if, you know, I don't know if it does any good to match the CD, but, you know, I don't have to have the full 4.8. And so, you know, if you like the CD at, you know, 4.25, and you wanted to have some of it liquid, our liquid account was at 4. And same thing, all fully FDIC insured and rate to be fixed. And maturing CDs can roll into it. That kind of stuff. So if you wanted some of it liquid, I think Linda, did I say 2.5 or did Jody say 2.5?
I believe she said, let me double check that.
So if it was 2.5 million, then we could do that 4.15 on the liquid account.
Yes, I believe
And
that's
then
what
if they had 4.25 on a CD, you know, whatever works for you. But we don't have to have the full 4.8 for that to be a.
You look at a liquid account at a entry value of 2.5
Yeah.
million of the 4.8.
Yeah, so whatever works good for you.
Okay.
Do you guys have a minimum?
All right, great.
Yeah.
Business minds of the school board.
This is something we're gonna vote on in
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yes. What we need right now, what the district needs right now is direction on, do you want to go to the business checking account or you want to go CD? And at that point, these guys will know, you know, what to propose at the August board meeting, you know, what interest rate they're gonna offer the district. And at that point, you will, make that decision. And then if you decide to go, like you're saying, if you wanna go that 4.8, half and half with each plane, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get a cashier check from Rocky or First Security Bank. You know, put in our account down there and then we'll transfer the money to both banks or however you guys wanna do it, we'll make it work. Goes up to you guys what you wanna do.
So, do you want us to make a decision on one of those today?
We do need to have
Direction on what
we
you
need a
think.
direction to go,
Yeah,
yes,
direction,
yes.
For these guys, so they know how to present at the August board meeting.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was just curious, if we have reached out to other banks or if we're making other people mad at us by not reaching out, we support.
We could, I mean, if you guys
At-
want to reach out.
At this
to-
time, these are the two banks that I've reached out to.
Right. I mean, we can reach out to more banks, you go make that decision at the August 10th board meeting. Is that right?
12th.
12.
August
So
12th
that
board
that would
meeting.
leave us then 4 days to
Execute.
execute what we're doing, because the 16th is our absolute cutoff date for this.
And the 12th is that a Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday.
So there is plenty of time for the rest of the week to make that decision.
Yes.
And then we can.
Yes, yes.
Is there, I guess this is for Bill and Glenda, but, the percent interest rate, it's not huge. Sometimes we're dealing in like large, on something this big, it's gonna have an effect, but sometimes we're dealing with like a large disparity there. But of course, my impulse would be to go with the higher interest rates and go into a CD. Is there, at this point, if we can do the 10-month CD, is there a benefit to going with a checking account right now, or as opposed to like the next one that comes due when it's going to be a shorter term? And
One of the benefits of going with the, and tell me if I'm speaking wrong, but one of the benefits of going with the checking account is we have several others that are coming up due within this time frame before we need to make the payment.
so it's getting prepped for that.
So
It'll all be the
we
same.
could then fluidly put money into the checking account. Like in January, are we going to want to do another short CD? That's something we'd have to talk about. Maybe we do, or that money could roll over into the checking account and continue to accrue some interest that way also.
Do we have any sense of what 2.5% on a balance this large looks like?
Don't in this moment.
Sorry, it's like on the spot.
I have a question for you, two things here. So you said you're gonna waive the, if you do a 12-month, you're gonna waive the late or the early entry or
Yeah.
early draw. How about the one in September, will you waive that too? For the 120,000? If we went for a 12-month or,
I thought we were talking January. weren't we?
Well, we have a September one also. We have August, September, and January.
so which one is it for September? Is that the 120,000?
September is 1.7.
7.
So what's the 120,000?
Is January
January.
11th. January 11th.
Mhm.
So would you go a 12-month or would you go a 6-month? Well, you really can't go 6 months, you have to go more of a 5 month.
Right.
Yeah, I
When,
would,
when does that payment due, Bill? In June?
June 15th.
So if it came due on January 11th,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we could look at entertaining a 6-month CD at that point, because then it would come due on June 11th.
Mhm.
And then there would of course be no early penalty that would roll in that one.
Okay.
So, we would just have to double check, because who knows what the rates are gonna do between now and June 11th. If there's several Fed cuts or something like that, we probably can't guarantee 4 1/4 at that point. who knows what's
don't
going
know,
on at
yeah.
this point, but, we could entertain a 6-month CD since it wouldn't follow those parameters, and you'll be able to withdraw it penalty-free before that payment comes due on June 15th.
So what about farmers?
I mean, sure, we're 10 basis points apart and,
Mhm.
whatever's best. I think the value in, and of course, these guys do a wonderful job, but the value in the liquid account, if rates continue to drop, when those CDs mature, what is that rate going to be at that time?
Mhm.
And so if you can then put it into a checking account,
So fixed
We lock
interest,
that rate.
locking that rate in.
Yeah.
Well, and again, like you said before, ultimately, you probably need to do what's best to make the most money for the district. And at 4.25, if we're gonna waive that fee come June 15th, you're gonna make more money at 4.25 than you are at 4, or even and 4.15.
Ben, I have a
Fran?
question. So currently, when we're investing, we have these invested in CDs with both banks. And if I remember correctly, part of the reason for that was obviously the interest rate, but I do remember there being a talk about keeping things where they were so that we were supporting community banks in the valley. Are we looking to make one checking account at one bank or two checking accounts at two separate banks?
If I could just throw that would be kind of the beauty of the split. And if you went 4.25 guaranteed funds, 4.15, 10 basis points is not giant. If rates continue to drop, then you kind of leveraged yourself. So you're protecting yourself. I mean, it might be an absolute home run to go all 4.25. But if rates drop and those CDs mature, you might be getting 3.75, in the future.
And
So a half and half could be.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, it wouldn't necessarily be, not that we couldn't do two checking accounts, two liquid accounts of both, but I think a possibility could be, just as he said, CD at one, liquid at the
Okay.
other, and then as things come up, bump into liquid, but this big amount of money in the CD at this higher rate that we know
Okay.
we can pull on June 15th.
And then, of course, coming up, you've got 1.7 sitting at their bank right there. I mean, if we're talking about splitting that 4.8, half and half, are we talking about splitting that 1.7 as well?
Well, we'd have to figure, yeah, we'd have to make that decision. That's correct.
Yeah, again, because we're obviously looking to make the most money that you guys can on
Sure.
your investments.
And
So
that-
if that's the case,
Right, and that 1.7 is coming up fairly fast in
Mhm.
September, in just over a month, so.
Yeah.
So if the political economic landscape hasn't shifted a lot, maybe the rates haven't shifted a lot either.
I think it makes the most sense to protect ourselves at the 4.15, but still relies on CD.
And so if we're looking for an action item today, we're not gonna be assigning the values because we have a board meeting coming up in time. So normally we go through that whole process of saying exactly what we're doing down to the penny and all of that, which I think Bill can help write all that up. But we'd be providing action direction to the superintendent to that, which vehicle or vehicles we want to put into motion. Is that correct, John? Okay. All right, so other questions from the board then? Do we understand what our direction here? Questions from the public or comment? Bill, Glenda, things we need to know about?
The only thing that I would add is if you guys look at it and think about it, I had said 2.5 and half would be 2.4, so that's fine. The 2.5 minimum would not need to be.
Oh, because when you're,
Yeah.
I see you're taking
Yeah, yeah.
the amount of money available.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that needed to drop down.
You
that's-
could work with us.
absolutely.
Okay. I guess for your guys' purposes, depending on what the motion is as long as you know what tools we're wanting to exercise at next week's meeting, that gives you the information you need today to prepare for that or whatever. I don't know if that's just a couple mouse clicks and it's done or whatever that looks like.
Super, super simple.
Okay.
I think both of us.
Yeah.
But you've been helpful answering a lot of questions.
Yeah, great.
John, anything else? So we're handling this the right way?
Yep, seems like it. We don't need a motion then?
Yeah, we do need a
We
motion.
do need a
so,
motion.
All right, so the floor is open for a motion.
I move for the superintendent to get rates and options for half of the CD maturing on 8/6, ending in 7894 to look at a business checking account and a CD.
Yeah, with,
We also had that about 225,000 sitting in the account right now that needs to be invested too, so.
Yeah.
Including the.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
The cash.
250.
250,000 cash,
Yeah,
yes.
something like that.
and
Including whatever money Bill wants to throw in.
with,
Along with.
with the financial institutions that have presented today, or which financial institutions?
With, I say that we get something from both financial institutions.
Okay.
Do
okay.
you want to go with, there's two other banks in town? Want to go with them, or you want to stick with these two here?
Your motion. Your motion.
Isn't there,
And we've got upcoming money we can do other things with,
Right.
but we are getting ready to pay off the middle school. So
Yes.
that's what we're getting prepared for.
If it doesn't, I don't know if it bothers anybody, but I think we ought to include at least all the local banks in town for proposals.
now, the Missoula Credit Union will only take a CD for 250,000. Won't go more than that. Because we ran into that before.
Or say we don't include it.
So they would,
They would not go more than 250,000 on a CD. We try to invest, because we ended up having to invest, that's where the 120,000 come from. That they only took 250,000, and we had to invest the other CD with, at that time, Rocky Mountain Bank.
who was that?
Clearwater.
Clearwater.
By St. Ed's.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that one there.
I was actually, I see Stockman's got a sign out on a fence, so they're giving us money.
That's not great.
He was
No, I'm
speaking
talking about the
Credit.
credit union down here. I thought it was Missoula Credit, this is Clearwater.
It's Clearwater.
I have no idea.
Their CD, they only will invest 250,000 in CD, a little more than that.
But I was talking about Stockman.
Okay.
No,
Okay, so I guess for the, we're kind of got a wonky motion here now, so for, well, let's, okay, let's handle it this way. Nathan has a motion on the table. Tony's a discussion at this point, but at this, we need a second to Nathan's motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all right, so it's been moved and seconded that we direct the superintendent to set up and get all the details for liquid asset account, checking account with Farmer State Bank, and 4.25 12-month no penalty early withdrawal CD with First Security Bank, and then kind of have those details for our next meeting. Then at this point now, discussion there, Glenda has prepared all the future things that are coming up, which would certainly open the door to asking other banks if they wanted to quote those and see what that would look like. Does that fit kind of your
Yeah, I just
intent
think
a little bit?
if they're gonna put money in our school through our clubs and so forth, at least invite them to the party. I mean, I'm not, no bias towards one or the other, but when I see them support us, I feel like then when you don't invite them to the party, it's kind of, I don't know, almost seems disrespectful.
Okay.
So, that's just my thoughts.
Thanks for that discussion. Yes,
I
Stephanie?
would just want to throw out there, I support that, and I'm behind that, maybe good idea, and I also want to acknowledge that you guys have carried our football for this whole duration, and so thank you guys for staying in touch with us and helping us with our rates, and especially when they're dismal. So, even though there's been some rate changes and such, but, so I want to acknowledge that as well.
Further discussion? Bill? Anything else? Clarity wise for next week, we're on the right track?
I think so.
All right. Elby, Linda?
Everything.
Okay. All right. All right. All those in favor of directing the superintendent, as we stated earlier, please say aye. Oh, we've got one board member abstaining from this motion, so we'll proceed with the 5 of us remaining. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0 with 1 abstention. So
It's not usually. Have fun writing that letter.
I gotcha.
So thank you. Yeah, thanks. Just trying to do the best with the district's money and get ready to pay this thing off.
Congratulations on paying it off. by the way.
Yeah. These last few years have been a big help rate wise. Get things back, point in the right direction. So I'd like to be in touch again in a week.
Okay, so wonderful.
All right.
Hi, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll move on to action item C of today's special meeting, the approval of the bus contract with Harlow's Transportation. If you'll look in your packet, you will see a copy of that contract that has been viewed, and Mr. Ham can, I think, let us know if there's anything we need to know from Harlow's on this particular item. And then this would be the board's opportunity to ratify this contract. Mr. Conan, Call of Law, and others have put quite a bit of time into this to get it where it is today. So, Mr. Conan, anything to lead us off?
No, I just want to acknowledge Francis Ham for before we even were going to go with Harlow's, he showed up here face to face and spoke to wanting our business and made some great promises that I feel like Harlow's and himself are willing to take on, really working towards the safety for our students with transportation as well as quality service. And we look forward to partnering with Harlow's in the future. And this contract is only for 2 years, and then we will revisit it. Anything you want to add to that at all, Francis?
You know, there's a couple things. I know Harlow's has been here and helped you guys in the past on your transportation needs. There is a new management, and our number one thing is safety from the top down, all the way through. So there's a different structure within our organization. What does that mean for here? Well, we had to move very quickly. So far, coming in, we've had 2 weeks. So as of today, let me tell you where we sit today. We were able to retain at least 8 of the drivers that we previously had. We reached out to them. Tomorrow, my plan is to come here on site at the bus barn and have a driver meeting. One of the benefits to our drivers is we have increased the pay scale to all the drivers, and we've changed some language in there. You know, if a driver comes in and runs a 1 hour route, they're guaranteed 2 hours. So if they run a morning route and an afternoon route, they get 4 hours in a day. Anytime they go out on an activity event or something where they're out with the bus, they will get paid for all time that they're out with the bus. So that's going to make a better compensation package, and our efforts are to retain the drivers that we have. There's a competitor down the street that's really trying to poach all the drivers that they can. So we're trying to make a very favorable package for them. We've already got set up. I said we wanted to start from the bottom and build it up like a new program. So Becky, who's in Missoula, runs a very tight operation up there, and she's got trainers. We're going to take all the drivers, they're going to go through a 10-hour mandatory upfront training. And then by the course of safety meetings through the year, we will meet our commitment to the state of Montana for the hours of training service that we have to have in place. I'm also interviewing a technician candidate that we're looking at for both locations. It's going to be Missoula and here as well. That will take care of all the buses. That is more of a master technician. And then I'm looking at another technician on site all the time for the minor type repairs. You know, they could do service work and lights and things of that nature, but anything that goes back to DOT related brakes, compressors, engine components, things of that nature, other than bolt on, we'll take it to Missoula and we'll take care of them in Missoula. So right now, my biggest concern is getting that team all together. And as far as the leadership goes, right now I do not have a manager identified for the location here. So I'm looking at bringing one of our top site managers that we have out of Umatilla, Oregon, who's going to relocate it here in the interim until we get somebody on staff. And I'm open for communication through this entire process. You know, and John, I want to work with you for sure as, you know, as we progress and let you know exactly where we're at. And if we need to, we'll bring drivers out of Missoula down here so that when we start off, we'll have a full team.
Excellent.
Just curiosity question, your operations in Missoula serve which school or what elementary, or where's that work there?
It is the elementary. Yes, it is.
No, which one? Hell, okay, gotcha. And that makes sense. They're a separate
They're
school
separate from
district in
Evans.
Missoula County
Yes,
Public
yes.
Schools, so that makes sense. Okay, just didn't know. Okay. Questions? I don't think so, because this is the one they looked at. No. So, Dan, go ahead.
So one of the words, languages, in the language that's in the contract is et cetera. Et cetera means whatever you want it to be. It's non-definitive, so it's open to interpretation. So my consultant with a lawyer, and the lawyer said it's probably in everybody's best interest if you can remove that et cetera from the language of the contract. It has to do with obviously a money item, I believe it's something along those lines. I don't know how to bus barn.
So it's in one place, not in, it doesn't repeat.
Just that one place I thought, that's correct.
Yeah, you know, it's probably under 6. Yeah, there it is. It's the last word on section 6. So are you proposing that we would edit the contract to strike the word et cetera? Is that agreeable to the Harlow's, or does that have to go through your review again if we?
It would have to go through our review, yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle would have to review that as
Yeah,
well.
and we're trying to pass a contract today that's been reviewed. So at this point, it's been reviewed as is. Okay. So, okay, appreciate the comments, I guess, unless there's a motion for it, we'll leave it as comment.
I guess
Fran?
my only comment or question is at the end of the last board meeting, when we directed the superintendent to negotiate a contract with Harlow's, my question was, would this contract come back to the board for our approval? And I was told that it would not come back for approval.
Yeah, that's what we understood at the time, and then because of that question, and Stephanie's as well, we triple checked with Megan and bringing it back.
Okay,
Just good due process.
okay, thank you.
So here it is. That being said, and as Francis has said, this has been reviewed multiple times by Megan on our team, and then Harlow's has their own legal team, and so any changes, even removing the word et cetera, would then subjugate it to further legal review by all sides.
So our legal has reviewed.
Yes, many times.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Ham, thank you so much for the abundant communication, for staying in touch with us. We're moving on to the Harlow's drivers, and for making all those efforts to keep them happy and to be and to hear what we've been saying and to understand where we've been in our process and that we're looking forward to. Moving forward.
I apologize for what's happened in the past. We as a company have deeply felt what has happened, and we are making every effort to make those corrections. So one of them is me being here today, you know, and I am definitely one, as a region person, I will travel a lot, but it's 7 hours away from home. I can be up here one day as today, right, if there was ever anything. But very tight knit, and I like to tie my locations together. so that we can strategize amongst locations, so that whenever there are opportunities or challenges, it's never more than just a couple 100 miles away, so we can always move people around and do what we need to do. And I try to stay state specific, just because every state is so different. You know, so my region covers Washington, Idaho, Montana, and South Dakota. So I want to make sure that we have a team of Montana managers that are together with all the Montana drivers and trainers, so that if we need to bring somebody in, they're already set up with the state.
With 8, sounds like commitments, where does that put you on your target for drivers?
For this facility,
For this location?
we're looking at 13 full-time is what I want, full-time bus drivers for here. And then I want to open it up to as many standby drivers that I can get, relief type drivers, so that if somebody does have an emergency, a family emergency or vacation or something that they need to take, we can easily cover that. But every route will be covered before a driver can actually take that route. That's one of my requirements. So everyone that we put together as a route, that driver will have to dry run that route. We want to make sure that we run it dry, and then any relief driver will have to run it as well before we put them on it. I don't want somebody being thrown in, to the wolves. And it's like, where do I go? So I want to make sure that everybody's kind of trained on that.
How do you predict some of our first month activities work out? I think you shared in our meeting that you joined us previously that the priority, I think, if I'm putting words in your mouth, stop me, but the priority would be home to school, because that's
Yes.
job number 1, get
Yes.
kids to school, and then job number 2 is get kids to football game.
Yes.
I'm making that up, those weren't your words.
Yeah, but that's right.
Okay, and I don't think we disagree. We gotta get kids to school first before they go to a football game.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, we would definitely hear about it if we didn't get them to an away game. We would hear about it.
For
So do you have some thoughts, knowing the challenge that lies in front of you, on kind of what those first few weeks, if you're not where you need to be driver-wise, 13 gives you enough to cover activities as you see it
Yes.
and serve the routes, but
Yes.
you're not at 13 yet.
That's right. Unless I get something back from the school that says we're gonna grow the routes. I don't know what the official number of routes are, other than what happened last year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to feel I don't think there's anything that would suggest that. I don't want to speak for John,
No,
but
I agree.
I think you can plan confidently. We've already done the playing around with routes 3 years ago, right? So we're pretty set there. You had mentioned, I don't want to distract you from the first question, but you'd also mentioned you wanted to drive the routes, or you're kind of probably going to go with the routes as they were last year then, just to get the year going.
Yes, I believe so. And I just really, what I want to look at is the safety aspect. Are all the students loading from the curbside, from the door side of the bus? Are all the routes set up that way? Or do we have any routes where we have to back up? I want to really limit those. And then in rural areas, there are some times when we have to back up. Nobody ever wants to back up a school bus. But when you do have to back up, there's still choices. You can back into a driveway and pull into a roadway, or you can pull into a driveway and back into a roadway. Right? So I want to do the safest of those, which would be backing into a driveway and then pulling out into a roadway. So I got to see how that's set up. So I'm going to have a management team on site that's going to be going out, and trainers, to evaluate that entire process. I want to make sure that we have that completely done before one student gets on the bus for here.
And I would ask that if you see some things you want to make changes to, that has, a year ago, that caused us some heartache, because it took up time that really the board shouldn't be spending on those sorts of things, but it ended up that way. So if you could just communicate.
Yeah.
And say, we are recommending this change. We can talk through it, not just have it change, because that's what happened last year, just got changed.
You bet. And I'll tell you that the conversations that I've had in working with John have been great.
Great.
Everything come together, we've been able to work things out, and I think that's exactly what I'd like to do moving forward. Whenever there's an opportunity there, I'll relay that back to John. And then if he needs to seek board approval or something, then we can do that. But I think most of it, hopefully we're not gonna find very much out.
No, I think there was some, Harlow's came in, and I think the way it happened last year was, it was upper management came in, looked over some things. Couple of them caught our stakeholders by surprise and were some pretty significant alterations, so we got involved and kind of find a solution. But, so back to my first question, you're not fully staffed. Are you just, let's say, serve activities because you gotta have drivers on routes, or is it possible to bring drivers in from Missoula to make sure we run our activities, or what are you kind of thinking?
That's exactly what we'll do. That's exactly what we'll do. And I'm hoping after tomorrow's meeting, hopefully we can get some of those drivers that we had before back on the team. And it is a smaller community and everybody knows everybody, and hopefully there's some discussions there where people can truly talk that, hey, we are Harlow's, but we're not the same Harlow's that we were in the past. Our structure has definitely changed. There's a monetary value that goes along with that for the drivers. And we just want to be the preferred place to work for all of our drivers, technicians, everybody.
Sure. Previously, Harlow's had done, they've done recruitment bonuses. If a current driver recruited somebody, that's all part of your.
It's all part of it. It's
Yeah.
still there. Yep.
So it might be able to get some people that way.
Yeah, for sure. It's just time of the essence. I mean, less than 30 days and we're going to be, school's going to be going.
Right.
So right now it's, I wanted to hopefully get the contract.
Yeah.
So that I can get out there and start training people, get buses here. I want to have buses here by the end of this week. You'll see buses coming in.
Okay.
So just trying to make it happen. And all the buses have been gone through already. They were relocated from here to Missoula. And the shop up there, I've already reached out to them and have them go through the buses they're doing it as this week.
Gotcha, to make sure they're ready. That's great. And I think it's great that you want to pay your daily route drivers on a 4-hour day, which would be a change from what they'd had before, so that's good for them. Doesn't change our language here, that's just how you're doing things there, which should make you a more attractive employer.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
and I'm glad to hear that, I want to clarify that.
I mean, the bottom line is there's a monetary increase in this language.
There is.
And that dollars are going back to the people that are performing the work for us both to retain
Sure.
those drivers, and it benefits us both.
And I want to clarify for the rest of the board because I spent a lot of time in this contract. We're paying Harlow's 3 hours at this rate that they have proposed and we have agreed to, or about to agree to, but they're going to turn around and pay their people 4, which that's first I've heard of that, which that's a management decision. That's great.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I think you'll attract people with that.
That just made my heart flutter. You said that. It's just the right thing to do. Thank you.
Are we ready for a motion?
Yeah, other questions? This is our chance to.
I think what you're doing is a good thing. It pays the drivers to inspect their buses, to do things as well, show up and take care of things. It's just much better than we're short on hours, so you jump in your bus and take off. I think it's good. So I'll mention this to people, is there some information, somewhere you leave information like that, so they know what you want to pay or what your deal is, or how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, matter of fact, we forwarded a QR code.
We have stuff. I can give that to our board too, and I'm gonna push it out after we got this meeting done. I'll push it out.
And you were able, within the first day of that
Get you somebody.
communication, you
Right.
sent the candidate over to us.
Yeah.
That's great, that's working together.
My podcast had a ad for Harlow's bus
Oh.
transportation, or like a jobs wanted.
Great,
Or have wanted.
great. Did you guys ever meet Monica? So Monica is our regional recruiter.
There was a recruiter. They did like a bus day 2 summers ago.
Oh, yeah.
But it was during the summer, and so the attendance was poor. You said something about doing something like
Yeah.
schools in session. That's a
Yeah,
better
yeah,
idea.
absolutely. Monica's very active. I
Okay,
gotta
that
try
might
to
be-
hunt her down every day. She's going to different places and doing different things.
Okay.
But you will get to meet her. She'll be here as well. And I want to continue the recruiting efforts. Even when we are fully staffed, it's always good to have backup drivers.
Right. Sure. Okay, other questions, comments from administration? I'd ask for comments from the public, but Francis, I think you said your piece, yeah? All right, so the chair would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2-year bus contract with Harlow's School Bus Services Incorporated of Montana as presented.
Second.
Moved by Fran, seconded by Stephanie. Any last comment? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried, 6-0. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
But we're gonna get to work. We got some work in front of us. And so you may see me out here by the bus barn and stuff. Like I say, tomorrow I plan on being here. And then I got some interviews and whatnot to do. And John, I'll keep you informed on everything, as we're progressing and where we're at. And then as we get closer to time, I'll touch base with how many drivers we have and how many we may have to bring in from the door to cover. Hopefully, we'll have a full team here. So we'll go from there.
That'll be great, and John can share with you, and we've talked, this is the first I think you've heard about this, but we'll have a working, small transportation committee that we'll put together here on the district side. John will provide a lot of leadership, Danny will provide a lot of leadership for that, but we'll look forward to, I guess, your Umatilla person to begin with, working with that committee, and then whoever you hire.
Yeah.
We really hope you find a great hire. Same QR code. I wish I had somebody I could recommend to be your site manager, but I think of somebody, same QR code, or they should call
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, same QR code, it'll go right into recruiting, and then we can get them the paperwork, get them the link, they can go in and fill it out, and then we'll start the process and start interviewing. Yep, for sure.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yep, thanks for walking through us with this.
Appreciate you giving us the opportunity.
Well, thanks for being here. It means a lot.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next action item is, we've got a couple of approvals of MOUs with previously agreed upon collective bargaining agreements. And so you'll note the two MOUs, I'm just going to speak to both of them because they both address the same thing, I believe.
Yes.
Is last year negotiations met for the purpose specifically of insurance. There's a part of the teacher CBA that allows you to open negotiations just for insurance, even in a non-negotiations year, which then changed the amount the district will contribute per month for insurance. That then has typically tracked through all bargaining units. And when we did negotiations with Dave right at the end of his tenure with secretaries of paras and custodial and maintenance, we made a mistake and we signed CBAs that had the old insurance number on it of 811, where we had already been paying and agreed to 844. And so mistake on our part, neither side caught it in either piece. And so we don't want to reopen those CBAs. Instead, we want to approve MOUs that we would attach to them so we pay the right amount. And so that's the backstory on that. John, anything else to add?
Oh, I wish we would have caught that earlier, but
Yeah, doggone it.
we'll get these fixed with MOUs.
And then this is a 1-year MOU so that we can also readdress the insurance issue in case the unicorn insurance policy goes through the bridge. Is that right?
Yeah, it says they're good through June 30th, 2026. So we would have to do another MOU if we just left it the same. Yeah, or change it. Yeah, that is true. So, all right, the floor will be open for a motion. We'll do one at a time because that's how they're on the agenda. So MOU with Stevensville Custodial and Maintenance Association, LIUNA.
I move for the approval of the MOU with the Stevensville Custodial and Maintenance Association.
Second.
Moved by Stephanie, seconded by Nathan. Further questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next action item, same MOU with para-educators and secretaries. Floor is open for a motion.
I move to approve the MOU with the Stevensville para-educators and secretaries as presented.
Motion by Stephanie,
Second.
second by Tony. Questions or comments?
then I will be abstaining from this vote since my daughter is a paraprofessional.
All
in
right.
the school district.
Thank you, Fran. All right, one declared abstention going into the vote. Questions or comments? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0 with one abstention. All right, and now our strategic plan, annual goals and objectives, as per policy 1610, which requires us to adopt and approve these on an annual basis. And so we looked at these in our work session, and by and large, we're pleased with how they read. I don't know that we got them right in front of us here. No, I don't think so. John, anything to add to that we didn't say in the work session?
No, other than I really think these are a great start to coming up with a process of how we're going to look at data and to be able to focus on 8 goals and objectives for this year that we can report back to throughout the school year on our progress.
Thank you. All right, floor is open for
Copy.
Move to approve the year goals with the exception of 2A being corrected to June 26th.
Very good. Yeah, very good. All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, a move by Nathan, seconded by Tony. Discussion from the board. Further discussion. Administration. All right. All those in favor of approving the goals with the corrected objective, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That leads us now to the approval of strategic plan for the 25-26 year. And if we're all comfortable with our earlier discussion on that this is a living document, there is no policy that says that we have to do this by a certain date or time. And there's nothing stopping us from updating this throughout the year because it is a living document. And so we would be getting an updated strategic plan with a couple pieces of language. And Superintendent Conan, do you want to walk us through one of those updated pieces on the screen?
Sure, this is the graduate profile up here that we've been working on. We've had input from both staff and some community through Dave's community group that he meets with. And it's just a graphic that kind of talks about some of the core values that we hold between the work ethic and providing vision and developed around relationships through communication, accountability, and integrity. And there is another document that goes with this that kind of goes with the work that is done that was required to put into our strategic plan this year for our graduate profile. And then the other document that other piece we want to make sure we're in there, we heard today from BIA, we want to make sure there was specific language in there about out of district enrollment, making sure that we are, we want to make sure that our students come first, right? So as soon as we reach that state threshold, we have the ability to not accept any more students, probably be by grade level. For the most part, we've been close in a couple grade levels, but want to make sure that's in our strategic plan so we can deny enrollment from other outside of our district.
John, does this go in file with API? Or how do we just check a box that say we have it in place?
It's checking the box.
Okay.
Yeah. But if we ever get held accountable to it with that language, it's got to be in the
Oh,
strategic
they'll come
plan.
take a look.
Yep.
And I think every district's required to post their strategic plan on their website.
Yep.
So that would be the first place. So we'll update that and have it there. Okay,
Happy to make a motion.
thank you.
I move for the approval of the strategic plan for the 2025-2026 school year as presented with the intention to update during the school year.
Okay. And we're good with knowing that what's presented will add the profile of graduate and language around
Out of district.
out of district.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So
Second, moved by Stephanie, second by Nathan. Oh, further discussion? Further comment? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. With no further action items, is there a motion to adjourn?
I had us go until 3:30, so just so you know.
So we have one more minute.
You said your wife was gonna be
She's
here.
supposed to be here.
Yeah, you said she was gonna get here before we were done.
Stop.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Fran, seconded by Tony, is all those in favor? All opposed, same sign.
Good job.
We are
Thanks, guys.
adjourned at 3:30.
Hey,
Thanks all, thanks Nathan.
she's like done. She's sensing someone in the room because she's like, oh, let me go.
She's sorry about my dog.
I have a few things for you to
Oh,
sign.
fine.
too.
Thanks for your hard work today, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, John. for putting everything together. All right, see everybody Tuesday. So week from tomorrow.